Good morning, students. We are discussing the lesson India relief feature. So in the part 2 or in the last class, we shall discuss about the relief divisions of India. So the India is divided into six relief divisions. So the first one is the Himalayas. Okay. So in the last class, we shall discuss about the Himalayas. And again, the Himalayas are divided into three important parallel ranges. Okay, so the first one is Himadri, second one is Himachal, and third one is Sivalins. So these are the important ranges of the Himalayas. And the second most important relief divisions of India is the Indo-Gangetic Plain. So again, the Indo-Gangetic Plain is divided into three parts: western part, central part, eastern part. So in the western part, the Indus River is flowing from the western parts. So here some important tributary rivers are there. The important tributary rivers are the Ravi, the Bias, the Chenab, the Sutlej, and the Jhelum. So these are the five important tributary rivers of Indus. What are they? First one is the Ravi, second one is the Bias, third one is the Chenab, fourth one is the Sutlej, and the fifth one is the Jhelum. So here the 80% water is used by the Pakistan. Only 20% water used by the Indian people. And the second one is the Ganga, central part. So in the Ganga, two rivers are there, the Ganga and Yamuna. Okay. And the third one is the eastern part. Okay. So in the eastern part, the Brahmaputra river is flowing. Okay. In the Assam region. So all these we are discussed in the last class, part 2. So now, in the part 3, we have to discuss Peninsular Plateau. What? Peninsular Plateau. So, first of all, we shall discuss about what is peninsula or why India is called a peninsula. Okay. So here, peninsula is nothing but the land is covered three-side water. So here, here, and here. Okay, so in the east part, Bay of Bengal, west part, Arabian Sea, and in the south part, Indian Ocean. So India is covered by east part, Bay of Bengal, west part, Arabian Sea, in the south part, Indian Ocean. And the north part, we are connected to the Himalaya mountain range. So that's why India is called a peninsula. So this peninsula is slightly tilted towards east. So tilted means slightly bent. So when you compare to Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat, the Western Ghats are slightly highly elevated if you compare to the Eastern Ghats. So that's why all the rivers are flowing to the eastwards. Okay. So here we can see in the Peninsular Plateau, okay, metamorphic rocks. In the Peninsular Plateau, we can find the metamorphic minerals. Okay, and at the same time, we can also find metallic minerals and non-metallic minerals in this plateau. Okay, we can also find what? Metallic minerals and as well as non-metallic minerals. Okay, so the Peninsular Plateau in the south, the southernmost tip of India. So this is the southernmost tip. The southernmost tip of India is Kanyakumari. What? Kanyakumari. Okay. So when you come to the Western Ghat, so Western Ghat extends from Satpura range to Nilgiris. So this is the Satpura range. Okay. So this is the Nilgiris. Okay. So it extended from Satpura range to Nilgiris, and Eastern Ghats extended from Mahanandi to Nilgiris. Okay, and the Western Ghat we can see Western Ghats and Western Coastal Plain in the west side, Eastern Ghat and Eastern Coastal Plain in the east side. So in the west part, one plateau is there. That plateau is called Malwa Plateau. So this is called Malwa Plateau. And in the east part, near to the Bengal region, one plateau is there. That plateau is called Chota Nagpur Plateau. What? Chota Nagpur Plateau. And in the south part, we have a plateau that is known as Deccan Plateau. So this region is known as what? Deccan Plateau region. What? Deccan Plateau. Okay. So I have already told you the Western Ghats extended from Malwa Plateau, Satpura Range to Nilgiri Hills, and the Eastern Ghats extended from Mahanadi to Nilgiris. Okay. So here the southernmost tip of India is Kanyakumari. What? The southernmost tip of India is Kanyakumari. So here the rivers are the non-perennial rivers. So here the non-perennial rivers means those rivers are flowing only in the rainy season. So that rivers are called non-perennial rivers. So in the summer season they will be dry up. Okay. Example: the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna, the Kaveri. So these are the examples of non-perennial rivers. Okay. In the last class, I have already told you about the perennial rivers. Those rivers are flowing throughout the year, from Jan to December. That rivers are called perennial rivers. Example: the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Brahmaputra. So these rivers are called perennial rivers. Okay. So this is all about the Deccan Plateau. Okay. So in the Western Ghat, some important hill stations are there. So when you come to the Western Ghat, so the Western Ghat is extended from Satpura Range to Nilgiris, and when you come to the Western Ghat, here some important hill stations are there. Okay, important hills also there. So here the most important hill station, okay, that is known as Ooty or Udugamandalam. Ooty or Udugamandalam. So here important peak is there. So in the Nilgiris, most important peak is there, that is known as Dodabetta. That peak is called what? Dodabetta. The height is 2,637 meters height from the mean sea level. Okay, so in the Nilgiris, we have seen the most important hill stations, that is known as Ooty or Udugamandalam. So here one important peak is there. That peak is Dodabetta. The height is 2,637 meters height. So when you come to the Kerala belt, in the Kerala also one important peak is there. So that peak is known as Anaimudi. Okay, so Anaimudi is the highest peak in South India. Okay, that is 2,695. 2,695 meters height from the mean sea level. Okay, so Anaimudi is the highest peak in the South India. Okay, so when you come to the eastern side or Eastern Ghat, okay, so the Eastern Ghat is extended from Mahanadi to Nilgiris. So the Eastern Ghat is not a continuous chain. Why? Because here the rivers are break. Here the important rivers are there: Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna. These rivers are break. But when you come to the Western Ghat, these are the continuous chain. Okay. So when you come to the Eastern Ghat, okay, so here important peak is there, that is known as Aroya Konda. What? Aroya Konda. The height is 1,680 meters from the mean sea level. So in the Eastern Ghat, important hills are there. That is Nalamalla Hills, Velukonda Hills, okay, and Shishachalam Hills and Nalamalla Hills. So the Shishachalam Hills is the most important hills. Why? Because here the sacred place is there. That is Tirumala Tirupati. Okay, that is what? Tirupati temple. And when you come to the Western Ghat, in the Western Ghats also some important hills are there. That is Palani Hills in Tamil Nadu. Okay, and Kardamom Hills in Kerala. Okay, so when you come to the Deccan Plateau, okay, so the Deccan Plateau is completely black soil. So here we can see what? Black soil. Okay, so in the Deccan Plateau you can see the black soil, and this is the volcanic activity. Volcanic activity. Okay, all of you clear? So this is the peninsular plateau. So this is the third one. Okay, and the fourth one is the Thar Desert. We have to discuss the fourth relief division. Okay, that is the Thar Desert. So the Thar Desert is also known as the Great Indian Desert. What? The Great Indian Desert. Okay. So it is located in the leeward side of Aravalli mountain range. So the Thar Desert is located in the leeward side of the Aravalli mountain range, and the Thar Desert is located in the state Rajasthan. So the Rajasthan you can see in the here in the west part. Okay, so in the west part the Rajasthan state is located. So in the state the Thar Desert is located. So this is also called the Great Indian Desert. So here the rainfall is very less rainfall. Okay, so here annually 100 to 150 millimeters rainfall is there here throughout the year. So very less rainfall. So here the temperature is very high. It may be touches to 48 degree, 49 degree, 50 degree. Okay, it may be 55 degree also. So in the summer season. Okay, so generally the Thar Desert is very hot. So that's why here the temperature is very high. So here the only river is there. That river is called Luni River. So here one river is flowing in the Thar Desert. That river is called what? Luni River. Okay. So here one canal also there. That canal name is Indira Gandhi Canal. What? Indira Gandhi Canal. So due to the Indira Gandhi Canal, there are so many hectares of land are irrigated through this canal. Okay, and this is the longest canal in India. Okay, near about 650 kilometer long. 650 kilometer long, and the Indira Gandhi Canal supply the water to the agricultural land. Okay, so this is all about the Thar Desert. So this is the fourth one. Okay, so the fifth one is the coastal plains. Okay, the fifth most important relief division is the coastal plain. Okay, so the coastal plain are stretches from Arabian Sea in the west side, okay, and Bay of Bengal in the east side. Okay, so the western coastal plain started from Rann of Kutch in Gujarat. The western coastal plain started from Rann of Kutch in Gujarat to Kanyakumari, and when you come to the eastern coastal plain, the eastern coastal plain stretches from Mahanandi in Odisha to the Kaveri Delta in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so when you come to the western part, so the western part is divided into three parts. So this is one part, this is the middle part, so this is the south part. Okay, so three parts divided. First one is Konkan coast. First one is what? So this is the Konkan coast. First one is the Konkan coast. Second one is the Kannada coast. So this is in the central part. And third one is Malabar coast. Okay, first one is Konkan coast, Maharashtra and Goa. Second one is Kannada coast, Karnataka, and the third one is Malabar coast in the Kerala. So these are the important. Okay, coastal is divided into three parts: Konkan coast, Maharashtra, Goa; Kannada coast, Karnataka. Okay, and the Malabar coast, Kerala. So this is in the western side. Okay, so when you come to the eastern coastal plain, so this is the western coastal plain. So when you come to the eastern coastal plain, okay, I already told you the eastern coastal plain stretches from Mahanadi to Kaveri Delta. So the eastern coastal plain is also divided in the three parts. Okay, so first one is Utkal coast. First one is what? Utkal coast in Odisha. So the second one is Sarkar coast. This is Odisha, this is AP. And the third one is Coromandel coast. This is in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so these are the important coasts in the eastern coastal plain. First one is Utkal coast in Odisha. Second one is Sarkar coast in Andhra Pradesh. And the third one is Coromandel coast in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so here the important rivers are flowing. Okay, that rivers are the Mahanadi in Odisha, Godavari, Krishna in Andhra Pradesh, Kaveri in Tamil Nadu. So these are the most important rivers. Okay, so that rivers are flowing in the eastern coastal plains, and the plains are fertile lands. Okay, so here we can see the important lakes. So when you come to the Odisha, Chilka Lake is there. When you come to the Odisha, Chilka Lake is there. And when you come to the Andhra Pradesh, Kollemu Lake and Pulikot Lake. So these are the important lakes in Andhra Pradesh. So when you come to the western coastal plain, we can't see any lakes. Okay, so this is all about the coastal plain. So this is the fifth one. And the last one is the islands. The last one is what? The islands. Sixth one. So the sixth most important relief division of India is the islands. So when you come to the India map, in the east side Bay of Bengal, in the west side we have Arabian Sea. So these are the most important islands in our country. Okay, so first of all we shall discuss about the Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, so these are the Andaman Nicobar Islands, the group of islands. Okay, this part is called Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so this is located in the east part. This is located in the east part, and they are the volcanic origin. The Andaman Nicobar Islands are the volcanic origin. Okay, so here in southern part, one point is there, that is called Indra Point. Okay, in the south part, one island is there. That island is called what? Indra Point. So that Indra Point is submerged in the 2004 tsunami. So this was submerged in the 2004 tsunami. So here the total islands are 230 to 270. 230 to 270 islands we can see. Okay, in the eastern part. Okay, so that is known as Andaman Nicobar Islands. So when you come to the west part, okay, so Lakshadweep Islands are there. What? Lakshadweep Islands are there. So they are the coral origin. So when you come to these islands, so they are the coral origin, and the total area of the Lakshadweep islands are 32 square kilometers. 32 square kilometers. Okay, and these islands are very famous for the great variety of flora and fauna. Okay, so this is all about the India relief features. So students, you have to revise this lesson very soon. We are conducting the online exams. Be prepared. Okay, thoroughly go to the textbook. Thank you. Have a nice day.